You might think a damaged 5-cent coin is worthless. But what if I told you that some bad condition Canadian nickels have sold for life-changing money? In this video, I'm revealing 3 rare Canadian 5-cent coins that look ordinary, even badly worn, yet are so rare and mysterious that collectors are willing to pay millions of dollars for them. Watch till the end, because the coin you ignore today could be a hidden treasure tomorrow. First up, the 5 cents Canada 2008 Elizabeth II coin, widely known as the Canadian nickel, is a modern circulation coin that may appear ordinary at first glance, especially when found in bad or heavily circulated condition. But in reality it carries a deep blend of historical continuity, national symbolism, minting technology, economic context, and educational value that makes it very interesting for collectors, students, and enthusiasts of world coinage. Because this coin was issued by the Royal Canadian Mint in 2008 during the long and historically significant reign of Queen Elizabeth II, one of the most influential monarchs in modern history, whose portrait appeared on Canadian coins for decades and symbolized stability, tradition, and constitutional monarchy within Canada. The obverse of this coin features the refined, uncrowned effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Susanna Blunt, a design first introduced in 2003 that marked a modern artistic shift by presenting the Queen in a realistic and dignified manner without a frown, emphasizing maturity and continuity rather than imperial symbolism. And surrounding this portrait are inscriptions such as Elizabeth II, D.G. Regina, and the year 2008, with the Latin phrase translating to "by the grace of God, Queen," a phrase deeply rooted in centuries-old Commonwealth numismatic tradition, while the reverse side of the 2008 Canadian 5 cents coin proudly displays the beaver, one of Canada's most powerful and enduring national symbols, originally designed by G.E. Kruger Gray in 1937, representing industriousness, perseverance, and the historical importance of the fur trade in shaping early Canadian economy and identity. And this beaver design has become so iconic that it instantly identifies the coin as Canadian anywhere in the world, even when the coin is badly worn. In terms of physical composition, the 2008 Canadian nickel is made of nickel-plated steel rather than solid nickel, reflecting Canada's transition in the early 2000s to multiply-plated steel coinage in order to reduce production costs, improve durability, and protect against rising metal prices. And this change also made the coin magnetic, a small but interesting technical detail that distinguishes modern Canadian coins from earlier issues. While the coin maintains a diameter of approximately 21.2 millimeters, a weight of about 3.95 grams, and a plain edge, ensuring compatibility with vending machines and circulation systems. When discussing a 2008 Canadian 5 cents coin in bad condition, it is important to understand what bad condition means in numismatic terms, as such a coin may show heavy surface wear, deep scratches, rim nicks, corrosion, dark toning, peeling of the nickel plating, loss of sharp details, flattened lettering, or a smoothed beaver design, all of which occur after years of active circulation as the coin passes through countless hands, pockets, cash registers, and machines, silently witnessing everyday life, small purchases, and routine transactions across Canada. And although these signs of wear significantly reduce its collector-grade monetary value, they also give the coin a certain historical character, as each mark represents real-world use rather than artificial preservation. From a market perspective, the 2008 Canadian 5 cents coin is not considered rare, as millions were minted for circulation, and therefore a badly worn example is generally worth only its face value of 5 cents Canadian, with no premium attached, especially compared to uncirculated or mint-state examples that retain original luster and sharp details, and may be worth slightly more to collectors who seek high-grade modern coins. Yet even in poor condition, this coin still holds interest for world coin collectors, beginners building international collections, educators explaining grading standards, and people in countries outside Canada who find foreign coins fascinating regardless of value. Historically, the year 2008 itself adds an additional layer of context, as it was a time of global financial uncertainty. And while this does not directly increase the coin's rarity, it connects the coin to a memorable period in modern history, reminding collectors that coins are not just metal objects, but time capsules of the era in which they circulated. Furthermore, the 2008 Canadian nickel demonstrates how modern mints balance tradition and innovation, preserving classic designs like the beaver while adopting new materials and production methods, making it an excellent example of 21st century circulating coinage. Overall, the 5 cents Canada 2008 Elizabeth II coin in bad condition may not be valuable in terms of money, but it is extremely rich in educational, historical, and cultural significance, serving as a practical lesson in how condition affects value, how national identity is expressed through coin design, how economic considerations influence minting choices, and how even the most common coins can tell long and meaningful stories about a nation, its people, and its everyday life over time. Which is why this coin remains very interesting for those who look beyond price and truly appreciate the deeper story behind numismatics. The 5 cents Canada 2012 Elizabeth II coin, commonly called the Canadian nickel, is a modern circulation coin that may seem simple or even unimportant at first glance, especially when found in bad or heavily circulated condition. But when examined closely and understood in its full historical, cultural, technical, and numismatic context, it becomes a very interesting and meaningful object that reflects Canada's national identity, minting evolution, economic realities, and everyday life during the early 21st century. Because this coin was issued by the Royal Canadian Mint in 2012, a year that marked the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II, celebrating 60 years of her reign, which gives additional historical significance to all Canadian coinage of that period, even if the 5-cent denomination itself did not feature a special commemorative design. And the obverse of the 2012 Canadian 5 cents coin bears the mature, uncrowned portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Susanna Blunt. Portrait first introduced in 2003 that intentionally removed the crown to present the Queen as a modern constitutional monarch rather than an imperial ruler, symbolizing continuity, dignity, and stability, with inscriptions including Elizabeth II, D.G. Regina, and the date 2012, where the Latin phrase translates to "by the grace of God, Queen," maintaining a centuries-old tradition used throughout Commonwealth coinage. The reverse side of the coin features the iconic beaver, one of the strongest and most enduring national symbols of Canada, originally designed by G.E. Kruger Gray in 1937, representing hard work, determination, and the historical importance of the fur trade in building Canada's early economy. And this beaver design is so deeply associated with Canadian identity that even when the coin is badly worn, scratched, or corroded, the outline of the animal is often still recognizable, instantly identifying the coin as Canadian to collectors around the world. From a technical standpoint, the 2012 Canadian 5 cents coin is composed of multiply nickel-plated steel rather than solid nickel, a change implemented by Canada in the early 2000s to reduce production costs, improve durability, and protect against fluctuating metal prices. And this composition also makes the coin magnetic, which is an interesting and educational detail for beginners learning how to distinguish modern Canadian coins from older solid nickel issues. While the coin has a diameter of approximately 21.2 millimeters, a weight of about 3.95 grams, and a plain edge, maintaining consistency with earlier nickels so that vending machines and circulation systems functioned without disruption. When focusing specifically on a 2012 Canadian 5 cents coin in bad condition, the term bad condition in numismatics usually refers to heavy circulation wear, such as flattened or nearly smooth details on the Queen's portrait, weak or partially missing lettering, scratches from contact with other coins, rim dents, dark or uneven toning, corrosion spots, peeling or bubbling of the nickel plating that exposes the steel core beneath, and overall loss of original luster, all of which occur naturally as the coin travels through countless hands, pockets, wallets, cash registers, parking meters, and vending machines, quietly participating in everyday economic activity across Canada for many years. Although such wear dramatically reduces the coin's appeal to high-end collectors seeking uncirculated or mint-state examples, it does not remove the coin's historical or educational value. Because a heavily worn 2012 nickel is a perfect real-world example to demonstrate how coins age over time and how condition directly affects numismatic grading and market value. In terms of rarity and monetary worth, the 2012 Canadian 5-cent coin is not considered rare, as large quantities were minted for circulation, and therefore a badly worn example is typically worth only its face value of 5 cents Canadian, with no premium attached. Especially compared to uncirculated examples or specially packaged mint products that may carry a small collector premium. Yet outside Canada, especially in international markets, even common Canadian coins can attract interest simply as foreign currency, historical artifacts, or educational pieces for world coin collections. Historically, the year 2012 adds an additional layer of interest because it represents a milestone in Queen Elizabeth II's reign, and coins from this period serve as tangible reminders of a monarch whose image appeared on Canadian coinage for generations. Making the 2012 nickel part of the final era of Elizabeth II's circulation coins before her passing in 2022, which has increased general public interest in coins bearing her portrait. Beyond value and rarity, the 2012 Canadian 5-cent coin also illustrates how modern mints balance tradition and innovation, preserving classic designs like the beaver, while using advanced materials and production techniques to meet economic demands. And when a coin in bad condition is studied closely, it tells a story not of neglect, but of use, movement, and participation in daily life, making it a silent witness to millions of small transactions that collectively shape a nation's economy. Overall, the 5 cents Canada 2012 Elizabeth II coin in bad condition is not a treasure in terms of money, but it is extremely rich in historical context, cultural symbolism, and educational importance, serving as an excellent example for beginners learning numismatics, world coin collectors appreciating international designs, and anyone who understands that the true value of a coin is not always measured by price alone, but by the long and fascinating story it carries through time, wear, and human use. The 5 cents Canada 1979 Elizabeth II coin, widely known as the Canadian nickel, is a fascinating piece of late 20th century Canadian coinage that becomes even more interesting when studied in bad or heavily circulated condition, because such a coin tells a long and detailed story of everyday economic life, national symbolism, minting history, and the role of Queen Elizabeth II on Commonwealth coinage, making it far more than just a small, low-value piece of metal. This coin was issued by the Royal Canadian Mint in 1979 during the mature period of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, a time when Canada was firmly established as a modern, independent nation while still honoring its constitutional monarchy. And the obverse of the coin features the crowned portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machen, a classic and elegant effigy that appeared on Canadian coins from 1965 to 1989 and is especially beloved by collectors because it presents the Queen wearing a royal tiara, symbolizing tradition, continuity, and royal authority, with inscriptions including Elizabeth II, D.G. Regina, and the date 1979, where the Latin phrase means, by the grace of God, Queen, connecting the coin to centuries of royal and numismatic tradition used throughout the British Commonwealth. The reverse side of the 1979 Canadian 5 cents coin displays the famous beaver design created by G.E. Kruger Gray in 1937, one of the longest-running and most recognizable animal designs in world coinage, symbolizing hard work, determination, and the historic importance of the fur trade in shaping Canada's early economy. And even when the coin is badly worn, scratched, or darkened by age, the outline of the beaver often remains visible, making the coin instantly recognizable as Canadian. In terms of composition, the 1979 Canadian nickel is made of 99.9% pure nickel, unlike modern Canadian nickels that are nickel-plated steel, and this solid nickel composition gives the coin a heavier feel, a distinctive metallic sound, and strong resistance to corrosion, while also making it non-magnetic, which is a key identifying feature for collectors comparing older and newer Canadian coins. And the coin has a diameter of approximately 21.2 millimeters, a weight of about 4.62 grams, and a plain edge, reflecting the traditional specifications used for decades. When focusing specifically on a 1979 Canadian 5-cent coin in bad condition, the term bad condition usually refers to heavy circulation wear, such as a flattened or nearly smooth portrait of the Queen, weak or partially missing lettering, scratches from long contact with other coins, rim dents, edge nicks, dark toning, surface discoloration, and overall loss of original mint luster, all of which occur naturally after years of circulation as the coin passes through countless hands, cash registers, pockets, purses, vending machines, and bank rolls, silently participating in daily transactions across Canada during the late 1970s, 1980s, and beyond. Although such heavy wear significantly reduces the coin's value in the eyes of collectors who seek high-grade or uncirculated examples, it greatly increases the coin's storytelling power, because every mark and smooth surface reflects real-world use rather than artificial preservation, making the coin a true artifact of everyday life. From a numismatic value perspective, the 1979 Canadian 5-cent coin is not considered rare, as millions were minted for general circulation. And therefore, a badly worn example is usually worth only its face value of 5 cents Canadian, though its solid nickel composition means that in some periods it has attracted interest due to metal prices, and collectors often keep worn examples for typesets, educational displays, or comparisons between solid nickel and plated steel issues. Historically, the year 1979 itself adds another layer of context, as it was a period of global economic change, rising inflation, and shifting political landscapes, and coins from this era serve as tangible reminders of daily commerce before the digital age, when cash was central to everyday transactions, making a worn 1979 nickel a quiet witness to decades of social and economic activity. Furthermore, this coin represents an important transitional era in Canadian coinage, as it comes from the final decade of solid nickel 5-cent coins, before Canada later changed materials for cost and efficiency reasons, which adds long-term educational value for collectors studying the evolution of minting technology. Overall, the 5 cents Canada 1979 Elizabeth II coin, in bad condition, may not be valuable in terms of money, but it is extremely rich in historical depth, cultural symbolism, material significance, and educational importance, making it a very interesting and meaningful coin for beginners, world coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and anyone who understands that the true value of a coin lies not only in rarity, price, but in the long journey it has taken through time, hands, and history. Please like and subscribe to my channel.